Lots of great women, tattooed ladies. Nora Hildebrand, she was America's very first professional tattooed lady. This is a wonderful drawing by my friend Sandy Nightingale of Nora Hildebrand. Doesn't she look fab? Fantastic. She had 365 designs tattooed on her. She claimed that she had been captured by a sitting bull and his tribe and tied to a tree and tattooed every day for a year. But in fact, her dad did it.
I think she...
It's
a weirder story.
I think she may have been trying to detract from men staring at her nose.
I mean, you've got to question that.
Well, if you don't do your homework,
yeah.
I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. How did he get involved?
She was like his showcase, you know, as it were, his window display to say, these are the ones that I can do.
Thank God he didn't own a garage, or he'd have just glued car parts to her.
Yes.
He should have looked like a transformer.
That's a weird thing, though. How creepy is that? You walk into a tattooist and say, well, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo, and he goes, well, just look at my daughter for a while. Pick anything you want.
Yeah.
OK.
When you have a tattoo lasered off, what happens to it? Do you know where it goes?
To heaven.
They can't recycle them, can they? What do you mean?
They don't scrape them off and give them to somebody else.
There was a guy at Bart's that had an incredible collection of tattoos.
Had he actually cut them off people's...
Yes, so whenever they got cadavers in, if they had an interesting tattoo...
Yeah.
And he would take that piece of skin...
And frame it.
And I think it was like in the 60s, they kind of went, yeah, I don't think we can do that anymore.
No. No, so come on, what happens to them? We laser off a tattoo, what?
It goes into your body.
Yes, exactly right.
Body,
so the beams of light heat the ink and it breaks it down into tiny little pieces. It's absorbed into the blood and it is excreted. So it comes out in your poo. So
you see it in your poo and you go, that's what I really wanted.
Yes. So if you love somebody once...
A tattoo poo.
Yeah, you can poo them away.
If it came out in the wee, you'd stand there going, I'm an octopus.
I now understand why boys make such a mess in the toilet, because they're not holding on. It's the... Here's a naval question you'll know, if your brother's an admiral. Why is the Navy salute different to the Army salute? And do you know how it is different?
Yeah. It is...
Yeah.
The Navy one's more of a... It's more of a... QI.
That's right, that's the Navy.
That's the Navy.
And the Army is like that, exactly right. Do you know
That's
why?
the Army.
It's because Benny Hill wasn't in the Navy?
Because...
Might be because their hands were covered in grease and Queen Victoria didn't like it, so she made them, instead of standing like that, she made them stand like that. Yeah. So that she couldn't see how dirty their hands were.
Sorry, so they were meeting the Queen. They went, should we wash our hands? No, it's only the Queen coming, don't worry about it.
There's a lot of weird Navy things. They toast the Queen sitting down, the Navy. They don't stand up. That's the only services that are allowed to do that. I'm not sure why. It was either William IV or Charles II, and he was coming back to England, and he stood up during the toast, and he bumped his head on a beam, and he announced that from then on the Navy would sit down when drinking. And so now they do. You toast the King and Queen.
They've got all sorts of very interesting language. It's a bit rude, but actually the term for premature ejaculation is getting off at Fratton, because Fratton is the train station to before Portsmouth. Which is your final destination, really.
Two before, so what's the station just one before? Because sometimes it's not that bad. Sometimes I fall asleep at the station and I'm there for ages.
It's almost too much information for me, really. I go to Portsmouth all the time. I shall look at Fratton with new eyes. I do, yes.
No, same here, yeah.
What? Go to Portsmouth?
Oh, no, I thought we were talking about Fratton.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
For some sailors, tattoos were thought to be a real lifesaver. Now, what are these men looking at?
Their feet.
No, there's something higher
genitalia.
up. I think they're looking... It's higher
Their navels. They're navel gazing.
Yes. They're engaged in omphaloskepsis, or navel gazing. So the Greek for navel is omphalos. And apparently it's an aid to meditation. It doesn't look like what they're doing, does it? But in some yoga practices, it's regarded as an aid to meditation.
It looks like they're thinking, these pills I bought on the internet are not working.
You can never quite capture in a statue someone crying. And going, why me, God? Why me?
After having a couple of kids, I tell you, it's not meditative. I just see blind panic when I look at mine.
Well, we should all possibly panic when we look at our navels, because the average human navel has about 50 species of bacteria in it.
That one's got a peanut in it. Never mind bacteria, that's a whole peanut.
They're very varied, aren't they? Belly
There's
buttons.
an innie and an outie and a kind of
Mine,
lateral horizon.
honestly, if you combine it with my man dress, whenever I take my top off, it looks like my midriff has been rejected for a loan. It looks so depressed, like it's filled out all the forms and everything.
But if you stand on your hands, does it look
Yeah.
like it's got the
Well, I
load?
could turn upside down and it looks like it's in tax exile. Mine's got real passion. It's got more range than this has.
Do you know why they are innies or outies? Do you know what the reason is?
It's just where they tie it off, isn't it?
No, it's nothing to do with that at all. So after birth, the umbilical cord is cut, you know, what is it, about an inch or two from the newborn's belly, and then it dries up and falls off as the muscles close up, and the navel is just the scar left, basically, from the base of the cord, and usually it ends up slightly retracted, but sometimes a bit of extra skin stays, that's all, and it makes it stick out, or the muscles don't close off, and you get left with a little tiny protruding hernia.
That one's got a hand growing out of it.
Yes, that is worrying.
A bloody disaster, that.
This is amazing. They can remove your kidney, your gallbladder, through the navel now. They don't even have to do any scarring now.
They've got to ask,
No, they
haven't they?
can-
They do have to ask.
They'll do you a tattoo of a little door.
It beats waking up in a bath on holiday with all the ice around you. Not again.
They can do everything now. They can turn you inside out through your navel.
Can they?
Yeah.
How can they turn you inside out?
You just put your hand in, it's like a duvet cover.
Also, my mum's got some loose skin at the back. Next time she's holding drinks, I'm going to try the...
My mum's got some loose skin at the back, while I'm sure she's watching this proud as ever. Oh, Johnny's on television this evening. He's so proud of that.
Her phone's already ringing off the hook.
Imagine if she's...
It's about loose skin on your back. It's the talk of the street.
It's the only work I do that the girls from Bingo watch. But imagine if she was still holding the tray of drinks. And suddenly looking 10 years younger.
There's an underwear model, I think, Carolina Kokova. She's got no belly button at all. Well, I mean, all humans ought to have a belly button, but I think there are a few people who don't. If it's
Oh, now there's a tattooed woman who's had the whites of her eyes tattooed blue, and she's had her navel removed.
yes, I think it's you can do it as a sort of cosmetic thing.
She's had her eyes... Not
Yes.
her eyeballs.
Yes,
Her
she
eyelids.
had.
Or
No,
her
her
eyeballs.
eyeballs
Eyeballs,
injected with purple ink.
So you can get your eyeballs tattooed, yeah.
Well, saves on mascara.
know, but
Why would you do
I
that?
don't know that.
Because you probably saw it on QI and went, yeah,
All
well,
you have to do is drink for 20 years and you get a lovely shade of red.
it's all been worth it, Johnny.
Contemplating your navel can bring you both innie and outie peace. It's nice, isn't it?
Oh,
You know
right,
what?
back
When
off.
I get angry...